Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Yo, everybody, it's Heat-tastic. So let's get to it. Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah! Man, what a crazy, exciting weekend it was. Of course, another fight week, going into another fight week for both UFC and, of course, myself, my tournament team, TKO Erie. I will talk about that at the end. Man, I got a few topics I want to get through, but I don't want to keep a lot of your times. I'm not going to talk too much about a lot of the fights. I want to talk about what we got right and what we got wrong in a way. What I got wrong personally. So, let's get to it. Let's get to another Heat-tastic review. And we're doing Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Ooh, yeah. It's time to bring the pain. Yeah, I'm still jacked. Like, I'm literally jacked right now. Like, from my fights and everything just going all week. I mean, that's how we prepare. But, you know, as I will explain later, it's not always about your athletic prowess that wins a fight. So, that being said, my picks this week were 500, 6-6. There were some favorites that I thought I believed in, lost. Maybe some chances taken. And then, of course, there was some underdogs that I thought would win and just didn't. So that just happens. It's fighting. And again, we could get to it. Doesn't matter how great I am. This is all going to lead to me talking about the tournament, the Battle of Pennsylvania, that me and the team went to on Saturday, and why my fight prowess, my fight IQ, helps people like me in this business give out the best advice we can for all of you that like to watch the UFC, throw in some bets, maybe some DFS on the side. And that's what the Fight Club of Pain is about with Dan and everybody else that contributes here and there. But right now, Dan and I are really laying it to the wood. We are smacking the hammer down on the train track as we pave our way into this UFC brand that we are making with the Fight Club of Pain. Hey, it's been such a great time with Dan. I mean, if you watch the show, you could tell how much fun, and then people, like, we could get more interaction, that's fine. But hey, we always have a plan. We always get through it. And the way that we actually break down the show, the way that he brings in the fights, Dan that is, and presents them to us, and then the way we play off of each other, it led to that call this week. And I will say, I will give the Fight Club of Pain, Dan and I, that credit. Dan is the one. I was an RDR guy right at the beginning of the week, was in one of my first DFS lineups. I kept that lineup, right? That lineup won money. But at the same time, Dan, even though I went Bo Nickel after watching all the fight, that's all Bo Nickel was. It was just a highlight machine. And sometimes highlights end and you have to put a new reel on. And that reel is what Bo Nickel is working towards now. However, RDR is looking like he could get a title shot if he gets off another 1 or 2 more wins at this fashion. Finishing the way he did was amazing. Now, Dan brought up that he wanted that submission. And we looked at the submission prop being a plus 1,500 at the time in the second and third round. Definitely killer. So it made me explore it. It made me think. And that's why me and Dan are such a great team right now, is because he made me think about, that one fight when Nickel kept going down for a leg. And he kept dropping his chin. That is the sweet spot that no fighter should ever let open. Ever. In any sport, you should never let your chin open that. Now, I do understand that the knee kind of brought it up, but that's what he said. I said that he's going to try to go down, and he's going to get caught with the knee. What actually happened was he went to run away and kind of turned, and it was a lazy turn, and that led to the knee that eventually just dropped him. And that was the knockout. And that knockout was explained in 100% fashion on the Fight Club of Pain, and was in the way Dan presented that argument, and the way that we were able to play off that and to get that and succeed, because not only did I have a second round knockout on him, I also had the second and third round knockout on him. So that was a really nice thing. So at the same time as well, too, these were bets that we talked about live. And that's why you can look at the Five-tastic bets and see what they did going 4-1 again. Wow. I mean, that if I didn't put the under 2.5 rounds on the RDR and Bo Nickel fight, that would have been it. But that was for me. I thought Bo Nickel was great for DFS too, and he didn't work out that way. And Bolanos too. I thought that he would have a better fight. Instead, he just got outclassed by Quang Li. So that being said, that shows again why fight theory matters, why fight IQ matters, why fight knowledge is a thing. And you can think I'm crazy, but I'm knee deep every single week. Literally have a tournament coming up this Saturday if we go to that, because there's still speculation up in the air right now. Not from the team. The team's going. Just what me and my families want to do with my birthday being today. Happy birthday to myself. Woo! Heat override. Cinco de Rabio. Woo! Right? So this will be recorded on May 5th. And my daughter's birthday is this Friday. But if she wants to go fight and she wants to fight, that's fine. As for me, I might take it off because 2 weeks from this Saturday, we have our Open in Erie. So I'm fighting. I'm laying it all out there. Dan's trying to keep me sane. And somehow we're getting the right ingredients to make the sauce wealthy for all of you. I mean, these plays were amazing. We talked about Daniel Rodriguez. Even though I picked myself, I went against him. I went against Daniel Rodriguez. I picked Ponzi. And Ponzi looked okay. He looked like he was having that fight kind of controlled, but Rodriguez kept coming in with this blitzing combo, which, just kept working. It was really throwing off Ponzi, keeping him backpedaling. And when I got that was a plus 2,600 knockout. Because nobody thought he was going to win. Again, that was another fight that was explained. Even though we both liked Ponzi, we both said we were going to go safe. But we explored those, and that's another call that I have not yet put out to the X-Sphere or anything out there. So that's coming soon, because I will say it with the back of my head. I will back my boy Dan and what we talk about at Dr. Roto, that we have a product for UFC that will allow you and show you to make money over time, the way I have. I am doing this way more. I'm betting way more on UFC than I have with baseball. But I will say my bets over that yesterday hit Ryan O'Hearn, home run prop plus 750. Had that in the write-up at Dr. Roto, only at Dr. Roto, right? And then the day prior, I had to rain out. So I took that rain out from the Mets game, Alonso included, moved it over to Sunday, and they shit on me. So this is why I hate the Mets sometimes. Every time I go to roster them. But anyway, yesterday's Kansas City sauce that I put in there with Pasquinio, I don't know. Anyway, I've got so many names in front of me. I got Rodriguez, Robertson. Anyway, I stacked Kansas City, and Garcia being a big part of that with the double home runs. I also brought it back with Garrett. And then I was just left in the one lineup. I was just left with Alex Baum. So I took him. 18.9 points on FanDuel. Ended up winning $100 easily. $134 overall. Played really light. Went out, had watched the Thunderbolts with my family. And then we went to Permani Brothers and had my birthday gift, which was $8. Cool stuff there. So, just had a little bit, ate a little bit, and then came home, looked at the thing. Games were over. $134 richer. We didn't even spend that all day. I have movie credits. And this all pertains to the life that we talk about. This all is possible because I'm able to make a few dollars extra off of these bets to help give my family a good time. Meanwhile, I'm not even sweating it. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm enjoying the good time. Enjoying my birthday yesterday. That May the 4th be with me. It was. Me and my family. And of course, I didn't mind that Thunderbolts movie. That was a great movie. So give it up, man. The Thunderbolts was good. Go see it if you do. End scenes are great. Watch both of them. You'll love it. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, I know I kind of went off there. But that's what I want to get to is the RDR call, the Daniel Rodriguez. Knockouts, man. Again, more calls made. Sandhagen. I had Sandhagen knocking out dude in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Unfortunately, that was an unfortunate situation with the injury to Figueiredo. That's not. I've snapped my knee playing football. Turf injury. Torn ACL, MCL, ripped meniscus, shattered kneecap. I did the dance. Didn't even get hit. Was playing flag football for my school, and just like a friendly pick it up, kind of between other teams and everything. There was money put up. The school did represent us. It just is what happens, right? And it sucked to see it go down because I really do think Sandhagen was going to finish him in that third, fourth, or fifth round. That would have been a 1,000. Of course, I did have the fight becoming a knockout. Had that parlay. Also, we did have Sandhagen winning. That was good too. So overall, the Five-tastic Picks are now 39-10. Solid. Practically what it is. About 80%, just under. That's the product we offer at Dr. Roto. Hope you go over to there right now. Use code word Doc and get all of your fantasy sport needs. Dynasty drafts already happened. We just had Justin Jaska drop 12-man, I think it was, Dynasty draft he did. So if you want to check that out, read that. That's, again, the great articles. If you just want the subs-only Discord, you want to get Fantasy Clown's bets. Puts in like 100 a day. Seriously. I can't even read as many bets as he puts in, but he puts them in, and that's great. You also get the UFC bets and the football content coming up as well as MLB showdown slates. I can't explain enough of what we do at Dr. Roto. I put it all out there, people, and I see other sites, and I don't think I see some passion on some sites, and I know you don't know who I'm talking about. Love those guys too, but I love us. I love that our office is open, and I love to put on the best for Dr. Roto. Got that. He wished me a happy birthday today, and that always means, like, he always says he's proud of what I do for him. But the thing is I'm happy to have a place to be able to do this and for people to see the content that we all put out. And that's where you get it all, whether you want the whole complete package with the subs-only Discord and the site or subs-only. All right, had to suppress that a little bit, get it back into there. Woo! All right, man, we got UFC 315 already coming. And, nope, you don't get to see my notes. Already started them. That's right. That's what beasts do. We eat and we consume more. Because I gave a promise to all of you that we are the UFC sheriffs. And we will run this town. Yeah! Woo! All right. Back to it. At Dr. Roto, we also have the football content up. I already covered it. Seasonal IDP will be back. Because of my commitment with the Fight Club of Pain, the Fight Club of Pain will remain live before Thursday Night Football during the NFL season. The Heat-tastic review show will be on Tuesdays, dropped on Tuesdays, anywhere from Wednesdays. I will record them on Tuesdays, and that show will be caught on the Dr. Roto Network, of course. That show now will feature the Macho Pick of the Week, and the Ultra Contrarian show, which will include the Macho Pick of the Week being part of, will now be recorded on anywhere between Friday to Saturday, released on Saturday. So you're getting a podcast from me anywhere from Tuesday to Wednesday, live Thursday. Before Thursday Night Football, you will get your UFC coverage unless work throws us off. Things happen. People take the vacations. We go, hey, maybe we go to one of those games. Never know. Dan, man, he be just rolling up into some Steeler games sometimes. He falls into a deal. He might not be free, but that means we'll just move it. And, of course, Friday Night Lights will be live always. Willie, Swami, Doc. So that at the same time gives you that to look forward to. That's why I'm not going to do the UFC show on a Friday, because that's just unfair. I don't need to be separating it like that. Just to say, hey, it's all about football. Friday Night Lights, right? So that going on with that, I just want to make sure that you knew that you're going to get your Macho Pick way earlier in the week now. Instead of a Thursday, Friday, and then getting the Ultra Contrarian on Saturday, you'll get your Macho Pick of the Week on Tuesday. And what if I just disinclude the Macho Pick of the Week on the Ultra Contrarian show? So you have to listen to that. You will get your UFC in review and your baseball for the moment while it exists during the NFL season. And, of course, all NFL games and my reactions will be on the Tuesday review show. That's how we're going to be rolling forward. I just want to make sure you get out there and make sure you check all of the content that we have. Again, the MLB bets. We have Ken dropping them. We got Lou dropping them. We got me dropping them. We do that. I cover the weekends for sure. So you always got something to put in to try to win some money. Again, yesterday I had that O'Hearn home run in a five-leg parlay, And I needed Salvador Perez, who I did have on my DFS lineup that won me money, right? That's what we do. Try to make all you our rich, friend. And I needed Sal to have an RBI. If Sal had an RBI, I had a plus 5,000 odds on a parlay that would have hit. And I wish, and I was with my family at the time, and at this time, this parlay was already, I could have cashed out. I don't know what the cash out would have been. Kind of wish I would have looked at it because I probably would have cashed out going into that last game. But hey, it happens. We do it, and that's the chance we take, and that's how we build our bankrolls, and we're building them for football, right? Now, I want to get to it right now. I know this is around this is almost 16 minutes right now. Battle of Pennsylvania. This was Beaver Creek, Pennsylvania, practically near Ohio. Good times. It was at the Black Hawk High School, I think it was. I think it was high school. I don't know. I don't live there. I live in Erie, PA, right? So, went there. It's a Star Wars theme one, so it's held by the Imperial Force Karate, and so this was May the 4th. There was this battle. I was episode 4 or episode 3. I think it was 3 or 4. Anyway, so he always kind of has that little flavor to it. It was a great turnout. Everything went really good. And what was really nice is that this is kind of the first time that there was a lot of change in guard. So you had a lot of our returning students coming, clashing with up-and-coming students that are very young. And I'm going to give no names out, really, because the people know who they are, and I'm not trying to call anybody out. But there's some power issues, that happened. We put a new black belt into the division, a black belt that people aren't ready for, a black belt that was a black belt a long time ago who was super skilled, but now has become a man. But now all these superstars are in his weight division, or if it's open weight, which mostly that was brought up that because he's a heavyweight, he was but he being how strong he is, this individual, and a great guy, been working with me as well too. Trey knows who he is. And it was brought up that he was a little strong for that division, but that's what happens in open weight. As an underbelt, I have to fight people that are twice my size. And we're going to get to what happened with me because, hey, sometimes we all fight it from different angles. So that was a passing of the guard. Also, it was the first time that my daughter met up against one of the premier schools in Pittsburgh's superstar daughter. Now, everybody was always set in stone. They never really said it, but them being the same age and my daughter being highly skilled and this daughter being highly skilled, third, fourth generation, whatever it may be, straying and much respect to that family. They run a lot of the tournaments that we go to. So everything always seems to be good, and they've always treated me with respect. That's how it is. And that's that karate respect, that mutual agreement and stuff. But when we get in there, we're going to win. We're going to try to win. So they matched up for the first time. My daughter had some anxiety going into it, always had some anxiety. She always kind of knew that was kind of the end game. So she matched up, and she did get walked on her first match. She fought valiantly through her legs, through her kicks. Now, mind you, my daughter only just 2 weeks ago won her division. Only a week prior to that, 2 weeks prior to that, she won her division. And now that she's getting into acclimates and doing that, she got to actually fight like that next level. And she has been fighting next level, but she fought that next level. And this tournament really showed out. It had a lot of great competition for my daughter, competition from other schools too, taller competition that my daughter was able to beat and able to take apart. And then they got to the superstar matchup, and they fought twice. The second fight ended 7-4. 7-4. And both of them meeting for the first time. Both of them trying to learn and expose. But the fact that this other person that I'm talking about that faced my daughter was pulling off cartwheel kicks and on other fighters, and that she respected my daughter. Now, she probably would. I wouldn't put it past her. She probably would try to do that. But she respected my daughter in that fight. She had never fought her before to not do that, because now we're seeing what's kind of happening. And she caught her with some of her good stuff. Her sidekick is great. Her roundhouse is great. Her hook kick is great. But then my daughter learned her moves and started blocking a lot of her moves, and even blocked a spinning, jumping roundhouse or sidekick. Blocked it with both her fists and was able to secure the blitz for the point. So as we see these breakdowns, as their team breaks down my daughter, as we break down their fight, that is way I offer my UFC, is breaking down the fights the best to my knowledge. And this leads to, and the rest of the team did great. That showed up. Kayla showed up. She did great. And our boy Caden showed up. He showed up and showed out. He didn't have anybody fight, so he took an exhibition match, hard one, amazing fight. He clearly he's fighting one of the best people I know that I've seen run this division for a very long time, Cam. We used to work with him at our school, so it was great to kind of see them go back and forth. But man, that was intense, man. It was an intense fight because Caden didn't back down. He went in just not knowing who he was, just said, hey, let's have a nice round, and they did. And it comes back to, the rest of the team doing great. Mitchell doing great, finally stepping up. I've been trying to work with him the best I can. So that leads to like the black belts, my daughter working with me, seeing my daughter starting because of her kick selection and her size. Now she's getting as tall as me, but because she has longer legs, she's able to expose me. But fight heat override is different than practice heat override. They say you can't flip a switch, but I do. I do flip a switch. But I did learn something. I went into my division this weekend, and I had a great showing up with both my open hands, took second place. My bow took third. Hey, the other two people, they did great. This is advanced level, men and women. So we have some of the best. We have people training other people constantly. I don't really get to train so much because I'm working on so much that when I do get a chance to train, I do. But I'm learning my fifth kata right now for my next belt test. And so sometimes they focus on that. And that is all the fight. That is what I'm talking about. So it gets to my fight. And I'm going to end this real quick, get that, but I want to show respect to Ming. He stepped up when no one else would in my division and my age. I'm 47 as of today. I was 46 on Saturday. Nobody would fight me. Everybody had stepped out. They wouldn't fight me. And it wasn't that. They just didn't want to fight. So people my age don't want to fight. And I wouldn't want to fight me either, too. It hurts. Yeah. Especially if you're my size. If you're bigger, you're going to get hit, too. And they'll hit me, and I'll take your hits, and that's just what we do. This is point fighting. This is karate. This is kumite, right? So, that being said, the one guy that stepped up was this 19-year-old Ming who just walked through his 19 to 34 division. I actually thought I was going to fight this other fella that I've seen him do his open hands and his weapons all the time, because usually the 18 and 34s novice goes before it's the 34, and the 35 plus novice goes before the 35 advanced. Well, when it got to me, he was the only one that would step up. So they found me a fight. And what I actually figured out was Ming was faster than me. He was, and this was also a learning experience for me. This is the first time I was almost a foot taller than somebody. I want to say a Mandarin descent. I don't really know his nationality overall, but yeah, he was like 5 foot. I've never been ever that much taller than somebody. On top of that, he was super fast, super young, 46 to 19. But we talked afterwards. Before we talked, I came out slugging, fasting. He sized me up. His fight IQ was amazing. Afterwards, we had an amazing fight. The refs missed some shit. I'll say that. They missed. I got it on video. They missed the kick. I lost 4-5. We were at the last. It was 4-4. The timer was about to be over. This was an exhibition match, so we weren't supposed to use full power, kind of just go in there, be technical, so I wasn't going to go in there and beat on somebody like I kind of normally do. Or if we get in those matches and I start slamming on people, that's just what happens. They slam on me too, right? This is a two-way street. They're trying to kick my head off, and I'm trying to beat them to the punch, and I'm fast enough to do that. But with Ming, I had to chase him. It was one of the first times I ever really had to chase somebody around the ring. And he was like, when he would bend down, he was so small, it was hard to catch him. But I caught him. And then I find out, he's a 2-time world champion. He's had this amazing journey. And I think about myself always being put down by, bullies and people that are taller than me and stronger than me and faster than me, so they say. And now through Kumite, through TKO Erie, I've been able to overcome a lot of those barriers. So you could say, like, my heart, to bring the pain, the passion that I always talk about, that the ferocity that I bring to everyday life, to my job, to my life, sometimes to my, I'm a little much. Sometimes Chrissy Ray needs a break, right? But at the same time, I love everybody. And I get that. That was my first time when I met Dan. I said, I might be a lot, buddy. And he goes, I'm totally with it. And now here he is co-hosting the Fight Club of Pain with me. And I totally, totally, totally respect that. He's one of the few people that has put up with me this long. But everybody that comes on Bring the Pain always has a great time, or so I hope. I really try to do that with them, just bring up old stories, talk about old things, memories. It's what we talk about. And I know I'm getting a little off, but Ming just had a bigger heart, man. Ming, he's just bigger. He's had a bigger fight uphill. Always had to go extra more. It was like he was bring the painest with him, because he was just that. He broke me down. He told me, he's like, I broke you down. He told me about, he talked on the other fighters amongst all the 18 to 34s and the 35 plus, both novice. He goes, none of them knew how to kick, really. There was a few good kickers, but I had to respect your kick, especially his division. He said, I had to respect your kick. And he goes, so that kick kept me away. So he said, the minute I knew that, and I knew you were a blitzer, I just had to be patient. I had to be patient and had the time. As a blitzer, I usually hit my mark almost every single time, 100% of the time. They get me a couple times. Ming's the first time. He was the first time that actually got me. He hit me. He blocked with a side kick 3 times to my 2 times that I took. I blitzed him 5 times. That was the last point. Time was up against it. I probably did an axe kick, but that's too powerful of a move, and I don't really like the position. I had him backed up. I could have pulled it. Did not. This was an exhibition match. No power needed. Felt that foot hit my chest. I was close to his head, but I lost. So, but that doesn't, it was a fun match. Overall, I still won the championship. I got top points and everything like that. And that's what karate is about. It's about learning. I for years, didn't think I would fight somebody that was a 2-time champ. At this stage of my life, being an underbelt, being just a purple belt, having the vast knowledge, and just me and him talking afterwards, and just hearing him break it down and saying what he had to do, and then me talking back and saying what I had to do once I noticed how fast he was. You could write that off. Age, size, everything. But for me to be able to keep up with somebody like that is the kind of fight theory that I bring to the table now that UFC is part of Dr. Roto. And Dan just sets me off. And that's why we always remember to bring the pain when it comes to you and any sport in fantasy. We want you to be our rich friend, because we always may the points and fights and bets be with you. Have a great day, everybody. Woo!
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well